Lita!
Yes.
I'm not even drinking nothing.
Why you not? Oh, okay. You could do. Okay, we'll give you Pepsi. We'll give you Pepsi. You know, we'll let that live. We finally got Miss Lita back.
Yay!
How are you doing, Miss Lita?
Much better this week.
That's good.
So how was like you had a wisdom tooth that you took out, or
I don't know what this shit is called. It was all the way in the back.
Yeah, that's the one.
That shit was bad business. It had to go. And I still got more work to do on the left side. But first this has to heal up for a while. And then I could have, and this was an emergency oral surgeon right now. Like the regular dental clinics, I think they still not accepting people like walk-ins and shit like that.
I feel that. All right.
But I'm much better. I could finally eat some food. I'm happy.
Everybody first before we start getting into people's business. All right, so you already know who it is. It's Joan YB, Joan, that Nigerian prince/king. And Lita, she already introduced herself. She told her story about her teeth. You know, she gave her wisdom too. And then underneath us, we have Miss Adeline Lease.
Hey,
Miss Adeline.
How you guys doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I don't got no plans for 4th of July. Even though we're not celebrating 4th of July, I just don't got no plans. I'm gonna be home with no plans.
Well, y'all already know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be partying on Instagram. If y'all want to try, I might have a little Instagram live party, you know. and we are the Mesh. So
we are the Mesh.
You know that you guys are thinking like, well, where's Junior? Junior is going to be a little late, and he'll join as we go on. So it's been hitting the blogs, the medias, and all of this. Like, this was the biggest thing that was just going around. Miss Jada Pickett Smith, Mr. Will Smith, and Mr. August Alsina. Now, August Alsina, he has done an interview with Angela Yee from The Breakfast Club, and he was going on to basically explain like the relationships that he was having with Miss Pickett Smith. And let me tell you something, that relationship wasn't no friendship. That relationship was a relationship. Okay, Will was battling. All right. He goes on to mention things of how, you know, he got really close with her, you know, and how, you know, he's trying to live in his truth and say, you know, that he was in something very serious with her. He even goes on to say a specific quote saying so much that I can die right now and I'll be okay knowing that I fully gave myself to somebody. Some people never experience that. And, you know, Miss Jada Pickett Smith, she goes on to say, that is not true. We've never done anything like that. I don't know what he's talking about. There is some healing that needs to be done. I'm going to
She said, I not know that.
She said, no. So, Miss Lita, we're going to start with you. What you think about this whole entire scandal and what's going on?
I think it just is what it is. It's just regular people shit happening in Hollywood and we in on it. Like, shit like this happens all the time. Motherfuckers get bored in their marriage. And instead of cheating on each other, like behind each other's backs, they be like, you know what? We're life partners. We're gonna have this situation where we're not gonna break up the bond, because you know, marriage is a bond and a business too. So you invest a lot into that. Ain't nobody trying to go through all of those legalities. We gonna stick this out together, but you do you have your girlfriend, I have my little boyfriend. This is what we gonna do. But y'all in the public eye, maybe you guys don't. You know, Will Smith's been spotted out with his girlfriend many a times. But y'all don't want y'all kids to know what y'all do, maybe. I don't know. I can't speak on why it's so important for them to deny this, but I believe August 1,000%. I see a lot of people mad at him too, saying, oh, he talked too much, he a bitch. And I just feel like, what's the problem? Like, all right, he's speaking up on his truth, and unfortunately it's in the spotlight, and it's a little bit scary when you think about it in that way, but I just feel like it is what it is. Like, this is, to me, it's like, listen, that shit is regular. Like, shit like that happen all the time. It's just with famous people now. That's how I see it. It's crazy though. It's very scandalous and salacious, and it's like, what? Jada Pinkett Smith was out here on that young P, like, and he's chatting.
She been throwing it down on him. Miss Adeline Lace, how you feel about this situation in this matter?
Literally, I disagree with Khalida. I feel like August Alsina should have kept his mouth shut, because the same thing you just haven't heard shit. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. Shit was in the dark. And the fact is like, okay, you're promoting your album. What does that have to do with your album? You feel me? Even if you want to live your truth, what does that? We don't care about that. We shouldn't. That shouldn't even come out your mouth. Because if it's something secret and you don't want people in your business, there's certain things you shouldn't say in public. You feel me? And even it's how you said it that made people speculate like you was bugging. You feel me? So it's like, at the end of the day, yes, you've been through a lot of things. You had a liver disease. Your brother and your sister are dead, and you have to raise your niece. Okay, stick to that platform. But for that situation, for Jada to like, for you and Jada's relationship, whatever it is, we didn't need to know about that. Because you're promoting your project. Promote that. Be professional and promote that. Ain't nobody need to know that you and Jada had a relationship. Even if you want to live your truth, keep that truth to yourself, because we didn't care about it. Now, people are not even focusing on your album. You got people talking about you and Jada. So your album is not getting that much, publicity because of this gossip you just spread out. You feel me? So it's like, it's not really, in my opinion, it's not professional. Because at the end of the day, you should have, like I said before, you should have just kept your mouth shut. Nobody needs to know that.
Oh, okay. Oh, she. From my take, I'm going to sit over here and have to go on and disagree with you, Miss Adeline Lee, because let me tell you why. Now, for the Smiths, the Smiths, they've been, rumored to be swingers for a long time now. And Jada actually was kind of throwing it out there a little bit, in her words, she sat there and she said, I told Will, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you can look into the mirror and say that that what you did is okay. So for me, I feel like if you're pulling somebody along and you're in this open, whatever it is, you're stringing somebody along like August, right? How can you say like, okay, you know what, August is not gonna say nothing about it. He's just gonna keep it on the wraps. Like, what if it's really burning him so bad? Like, he even made songs about it. He made songs about this is Junior right now. He made songs about Miss Pickett, and basically, it's kind of like a manipulation thing. You know how like if there's miscommunications in like open relationships, it can kind of get misconstrued. Like, all right, well, I really love you. Like, I'm really in love with you. Like, I don't like. How can you sit over and try to play me down and act like you didn't do half the things that you did for me, and then think that I'm supposed to just continue being on the reps?
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like I said, like what you just said, August Alsina has feelings too. He can't be let in the dark. But you have to understand, you decide to put yourself in that situation. If you put that out publicly, not everybody's going to agree with you, because you're going to have different opinions here and there. You understand what I'm saying? So you know what you was getting yourself into. We all know Jada is married to Will. You devoted yourself to a married woman, knowing that she's married, and you still caught feelings. You understand what I'm saying? You caught feelings for a married woman. You know what the circumstances is. Because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, if something goes wrong, she's always going to go back to Will. You just a side nigga. You feel me? So yeah, side niggas caught. People have opinions as being thrown in the air. You can't hide from it no more, because everybody's going to look at you like, well, it's kind of your fault. You knew she was married. You caught feelings. So boom, deal with your shit. Now you want to make songs. Continue to make songs. But at the end of the day, you still put yourself in that predicament.
I mean, I agree with you 100%, Adeline Leaf. I just feel like stop denying it. That's all I'm just saying. Don't deny it no more. This is something that you do. Go ahead, Khalida.
But as far as him speaking on it, he was asked. He's always asked. In interviews, they're always asking him, oh, yeah, what's up with you and Jada? Angela Yee happened to be the one that he wanted to open up to in front of the camera. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to finally speak on it and say, yeah, this is what happened. And I had a conversation with this man several times about it, and he gave me his blessings on it. If he want to make music about it, he's an artist. Everybody's free to express themselves however they want to express themselves. And I don't think his argument was ever like, oh, like, you know, his main thing was people have been looking at me and judging me for something that I was given permission for. I don't think it's more so like, listen, if you're going to talk about it, just know what it was. Like, I was given permission to do this. This is what it was. I ain't coming here just trying to take somebody's girl. Obviously, she a married woman. She knows she a married woman. That's why it's like, well, she got to face those consequences of the public looking at her like, sis,
Yeah,
what you got to say about it? Because
I understand that.
You a married woman too, so you got to know what you doing and how you moving. You got to know what every choice is either reward or consequence. So it is what it is.
I understand like I said, I understand what you're saying, Khalida. But the fact is that you know what you was putting yourself into. Like I said, if you are a life partner, but the thing is, she's married. You feel me? Like I said, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, she's going to go back to Will. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you still a side dude. You giving your life, you giving your love to a person that's already married. You feel me? And not just married, but a mother of two.
She knows that.
But the thing is that okay, like I understand that. I understand, like, you know, if you know that she's married or whatever the case may be, then you as a married woman should have kept it in check from the get-go. You see that he's doing all of these different things. You see he's making songs about you. He's, you know, saying he's spilling his heart out whenever somebody asks him a question about it. You should have been nipped that in the butt. You should have been on something like, no.
But she did. I feel like she did. I just feel like the thing is, right? Well, August Alsina, like I said, he runs his mouth because mind you, we didn't know he had a liver problem until he posted that shit with Angela Martinez, right? Angela Martinez. What's her name?
Angela.
You know.
Angela Yee.
Yeah, there you go. And the funny thing is, you hid that a secret. So why couldn't you hid the secret that you literally? I knew he was in and out the hospital, but I didn't know you had a disease. You said, and I watched that clip. You was like, I didn't want no one to know about my health condition. So why the hell you want people to know about your damn relationship with Jada?
That's a choice.
But the thing is, choose your choices wisely. But you rather a health relationship, you rather people not knowing your health disorder than for people to know that you sleeping with a married woman.
Well, let me tell you this. You know, when people are madly in love, they do the most craziest things, correct? When people are madly in love and they in their feelings and they're like, you know what? I'm tired of this chick playing with me. I'm about to sit over here and do what I got to do.
But she ain't playing with you because you knew what you was getting yourself into. She's married.
Clearly he didn't because
that's what I'm saying. He didn't play the side nigga role. He didn't. His contract is terminated. You call. It was a hit it and quit it. We come back, and then you caught feelings. Now you want to write songs and make interviews. My nigga, your shit is terminated. Shit.
Well, we're done with this topic, but welcome, Junior. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I'm gonna give you your introduction.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Junior from New York by the way of Newark. How's everybody doing this week? How's everybody feeling?
We are.
How's your mouth feeling?
What you said?
Lita, how is your mouth feeling?
Much better.
She eating or she drinking? I don't know if you doing.
She doing both. So we're gonna move steady up. Well, welcome, Junior. Thank you for showing up today. We're gonna ease on into our next topic. I'm gonna call this topic parenthood. I want to know, what do you guys feel like it means to be a parent before I ask this next question? So, Lita, I'm gonna have you take this one away again because I know that you are a mother too. So what is your definition?
Wait, you gotta say the question again because it broke up.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to I'm saying I was gonna repeat myself again. I was gonna say, what is your definition of a parent?
So, like, what defines a parent, in my opinion, is just any mom or dad pretty much devoting their life to their young. Because that covers just such a wide range of things. That's just like a real bundled up statement. But when you're a parent, you literally, that's what you do. You're devoting your life. Everything you do is for your kid. So that includes, first of all, accepting the fact that you're not perfect, because ain't no parent perfect, not one. You're going to have to accept that and be okay with that. And I feel like you got to have a goal. so that your children could watch that and emulate that, because kids emulate everything. So you want to be an example, pretty much. That's another thing that defines a parent, is just being an example for your young, taking care, nurturing your young, teaching your young lessons, making mistakes, learning from them together, opening up those lines of communication, having fun, having bonding time, supporting your kids, all of that. And always consistently show love. It's very important that you show love and affection to your children. Not a lot of kids out here get hugged and shit, which is crazy to me. That's even like a factual statement. But just little things like that. That's what defines being a parent, is just giving your all to your young.
That was beautifully said. You have me tearing over here. Shit, Khalida, damn. Adeline, what is your definition of defining a what a parent?
So everything Khalida said, similar to basically everything she said. A parent, of course, you have to love and support your child, and also mold your child into a person that he or she wants to be. Because you can never control your child. You could want what's best for your child, but your child has to know what's best for his or herself. So, in my opinion, I work with kids, and I see a lot of them are traumatized from experiences, like what Khalida said. Some children are not being hugged, kissed, telling kids I love you, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, to have that support system and to have that love and that nurture, to know that I'm old, like to know for a kid to know that their mother or father is old about anything, whether it's bad or good. It's like, it's a brilliant, type of energy, because like I said, some kids don't have that type of support system in the household. Some kids are being abused mentally, physically, and it's like, in my opinion, a good parent is making sure your child knows what's out there in the world in like a positive way, because you have to know, like, once your child reach a certain age and they can't stay here no more, you have to make sure that they prepared outside. And what, like, a parent is the first teacher of a child, so you have to mold them and make sure that they're well taken care of, physically, mentally, emotionally, and yeah.
Okay, got me over here tearing. Let's stop it. Junior, what is your definition of what a parent is?
Including or adding on from Adeline and Carlita: provider, secure, mentor, sacrificer, caretaker, all the above. And it has its own individual contracts, patience, as I mentioned, sacrifice. You are the leader 24/7, making sure, things are safe and sorry. It comes with different umbrellas, different personalities. As the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. For those who are fortunate to have that extra assistance. Basically, things of that nature: protector, overseer, provider, sacrificer, caretaker, mentor, all the above.
Absolutely. So I was asking that question because I know that a lot of people, especially in our community, which is the Black community, whenever a child is always mentioned as being gay or having like a sort of they express their sexuality in a different type of way, I noticed that a lot of people would say that they disown their child. And to me, that's a little bit like, well, think about it like this. There's a pie chart. You have a pie chart. You have so many different things, disabled, mentally ill, all of these different things fall underneath this category of how your child will come out. For you to say that you would disown your child just because of one certain thing that, your child is, why choose to be a parent? What's the purpose of your idea of being a parent? You would rather your child run amok in the streets, shooting and killing and being in jail, versus them loving whoever they love. So Khalida, how do you feel about when people say that they're going to disown their children? And it may not necessarily be a sexual orientation thing. It could be whatever, but just the mere thought of you saying the words, I'm going to disown you.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't disown mine, so I can't really imagine the fucked up part about it is I know situations like that where someone has been like, because the family don't want nothing to do with them, over reasons like sexual orientation or other things that might have been like a life choice or something like that. And I feel like it's unfortunate because even like, I think the worst thing I could think of is like if my child ended up like being the worst kind of human on this planet, doing maybe the most disgraceful thing. And even in that sense, I still couldn't disown my child. I would just be on some like, yo, you's a dirty ass motherfucker. Like, damn, son, why you gotta be doing that in your mind? Like, but I'm not gonna disown you and be like, you know what, you're not my child. Move on, like, I'm not your mother. Nah, I went through too much shit to bring you here. That's another thing I don't understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? You prep for damn near a whole fucking year for a whole human being to be on this planet. And something could happen to make you want to disown that child. And if it's something that's like a fucking sexual orientation, son, that shit is like, I mean, preference or whatever. I'm like, it's like, huh? That's what it took for you to feel like that? You know what I'm saying? That to me, then that says a lot about that person. Like, what kind of trauma have you been through? You know, have you been shown unconditional love? Because unconditional would be like no conditions on your love, right? You will love them no matter what. So have you ever been shown unconditional love? Because it don't seem like it if you're able to dissociate yourself from your child.
Absolutely. Now, Khalida, your time definitely did run out. So is that your... Oh, okay, she hit 2 minutes. Look at that. Junior, we're going to go with you next. Could you ever imagine yourself disowning children if you have or if you would ever?
No, and consider that route. Yeah, I wouldn't even like to categorize that saying when for example, when let's say even with the birth, a lot of people are surprised that it's even happening. So as Adeline mentioned, it is an overjoyous feeling. As far as disowning, that would basically not the child, but it's something wrong with the individual as a parent. Maybe they're not mentally ready, you know, a relapse of anxiety, not knowing what to happen. Fortunately, I myself actually am have been through the foster care system. I've learned from it. At times which I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could have stayed there just for more structure. Which is to get home to my family. It was a lot of emotions, but I didn't really express it too much. But yeah, having this omen, it basically, yeah, it's just not a good way to think. It basically, to stick to the question, it's something like it's up to you. Maybe of course you weren't ready for it. Unfortunately, you may not have siblings or kin to help you with the assistance. But yet the same part of this omen, that's not a good place to be, especially not putting this on with parents, whatever the category lifestyle you are. It's just not you. That's not something you will put two words in together with each other. But if a person is thinking that way, they have to get themselves together, situated. Maybe take a little breather, meditation. You know, go into the corner for 5 minutes. Disowning with parent, I don't agree to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then finally, but not least, Miss Adeline Lease, how's your feelings on the disownment of children?
When I think about a parent disowning a child because of their sexuality, I don't think it's to do with them. I think it's to do with outside voices and how people are going to view them if they find out that, you know, so-and-so child is gay, so-and-so child is a lesbian, so-and-so child is doing that. I feel like when a parent say this disowning you, they're afraid of what other people might think. So it's like, when it comes to that type of situation, it's like, okay, sometimes, you know, parents, both of them, mothers and fathers, like disclaim, like saying, oh, I don't want my child to be gay. And sometimes it's majority of the fathers that don't condone it because of a man's sexuality or a woman's sexuality, but more so to the men's sexuality, to their boys. Because it's like a lot of situations, even in a Caribbean household, gay, like any, you know, gay relationship in a Caribbean household, well, I can't say for all, but like for my household, like some people in my household disagree with it, but like literally had a conversation with a family member, and they said the same thing. Oh, if my child becomes gay, I'm disclaiming them. I don't want nothing to do with them. But like Carlita said, how can you disown someone you brought into this world? and you prepared for it. Like you lived months. You made a choice. So why would you just because of her sexuality? When I die and my child is still living, that's gonna be my child's decision. I'm not gonna live a long time. Whatever makes my child happy, as long as he or she is doing it the right way and they're happy. If I die knowing that, I made this child this way because I disagree, that's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with all of you. Adonai, I know you had some points when you was talking about the what other people would feel,
Mm-hmm.
so and so shot. I feel like then you shouldn't have a child. Again, it all boils down to, look, your kid has their own path line. I know a lot of people believe in God, some people believe in the universe, some people are spiritual. When you pop a life out, that life has its own path line.
She said pop a life out.
Pop a life out, boop, pop, right there, pop. That life that life has its own path line. You can't control what that path line is for that life. But what you can do is mold that life and get that life ready for what life outside is going to bring to them. That's the only thing that you can do. You are a guidance, and they're carrying on your last name. They're carrying on your legacy. They are carrying on an image of you. So when you leave this world, your child is your symbol. Shoot, I'm getting hot because it's really hot in here, and I had some Bacardi. Honestly, the Bacardi really make me hot a little bit.
Oh
But
yeah,
we're gonna move on to the next topic, something a little bit more lighter. I know that this one was a little dark. Oh my god. So we're gonna talk about colorism in the Black community, which Khalida hit a point before when we was discussing this, like way back in the beginning. Colorism, Black men versus Black women, and dark skin versus light skin. Dark skin viewed as masculine and rough, and then light skin viewed as, oh hey, how you doing? I want a cocktail. So being that Khalida had this in her mind, I want you to talk about the colorisms and the different verses of different verses.
So yeah, I feel like it's very like for both the men and women. Like if they're darker skinned, they're viewed more masculine, which is a positive for men but a negative for the women. And then you have the light skinned man, light skinned woman, more dainty, feminine, which is a little bit of a negative for the man in society. And then it's better for the female. And I just think that that's so annoying because I feel like even when it comes to Black women, it's always like, that strong Black woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, don't need nobody strong, carry the world on our shoulders, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's like for Black women, though, if you are a darker skin tone, that's acceptable. Even like in the media, like when you look at movies and shows and shit, it's like that dark skin character, the female, is either always aggressive as fuck or strong, single mom. And then you got perfect example, son. The shit's crazy. Real quick, let me make this quick. My wife and kids, right? 2 different Claires. One dark, one light. The first Claire was dark skin. Sassy, aggressive, beating up on her brother's bullies, like washing niggas out here. Like then you get the light-skinned Claire. Dainty, dizzy, long curly hair, all the boys like her. It's still Claire. So why wasn't the same thing for the dark skin Claire? Why she couldn't be the dainty one that all the boys liked? So it's just little stuff like that it's like it's blatant, it's in your face, and it's annoying because I feel like it doesn't matter on the scale of hues. All Black people, period, should be treated equally. But it's not even just in the Black community neither. Colorism is in many different cultures, and it's all the same thing. And it goes back, that shit is deep-rooted history that you would have to dig and dig and dig for that. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Junior,
that's how I feel.
You gon' see, that's how you feel. That's how she feels. She had to let it be known twice. That's how she feels. Junior, we're gonna start with you next. How do you feel about the colorism in the in the Black community? Actually, we're gonna scratch that. How do you feel about colorism around the world?
It's gonna happen. We can't please everyone. It's been happening since before I was born, before the movie Jungle Fever. It's been happening. There's not much we can do about it. Most I could do is duck, duck, goose, find the right one that I click with, and make it work. It's gonna happen. It exists. There's always gonna be something to discuss, like you said, between kid and play, light and dark. It's gonna be there regardless.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that it will ever end?
About who?
Do you think that it will ever end?
No, it's like racism. It's gonna have different forms. No, unfortunately, it's not gonna end. It's gonna be a topic as now, like we've been discussing. Everyone has their perspectives and opinions about it, or because put their feet in somebody else's shoes. But no, it's not gonna end.
Junior, I disagree, but go ahead.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm gonna say it after Miss Adeline's point.
Okay, so like I said, I disagree with Junior because I do feel like wait, let me just answer the question first. Colorism colorism is like I when I was in high school, I had insecurities about how dark I was because all my friends were a little lighter than me or just light skin period. And I had situations where all my friends, in high school, the boys would talk to the light skinned girls. And it's like, it kind of left me in the dark because I had an incident where I liked this boy and I think I was probably a freshman or a junior. I don't remember. But he literally stood up and said, nah, she too dark for me. Right. And it kind of left a kind of sadness because it's like, damn, and the funny thing is, it's like your mom is dark skinned. Like I see his mom. So it's like, so even even though we're young, they always say we don't know much. But it's like for that to come out your mouth, it's like you don't even know how that will make me feel. So it's like it kind of left a dark spot, and I had to grow into my skin, literally, mentally, physically, because I was highly insecure, and it was just like a horrible thing. And to answer and to disagree with Junior, it's like colorism is changing because we see our Issa Rays in the front of our dark skinned girls making films and not playing the aggressive type, not playing the the role of being ghetto loud. And it's like it's progressing little by little. It's not making a full 360, but not even close to 180. But it's still changing because it's like now even with models, dark skinned models are being out of the shadow and into the light. They're seeing we're being in cover girl magazines and makeup and everything. So I do see a little change going on.
My fault, because you was answering two questions at the at the same time, so I was trying to give you a little bit more time. My fault. That was my fault.
Oh, my fault.
No, you could finish.
Oh, so yeah. So basically, excuse me. So it's like colorism is changing, but it's not the change that we want. It's coming slowly, but colorism it's wishy-washy type of situation because we would never know. Like a person could be colorist and you would never know until something happens. But we would just for us to change, for colorism to change, it will have to start with us. We will have to push it more. Like I don't know if you guys watch Grey's Anatomy. No, okay. So basically the main character, she was even saying she wants more dark-skinned people out in the front line because dark-skinned, like you said, dark-skinned people was always shown as aggressive, as slaves, as, behind the scenes. And it's like, we need a chance to step up. Like the thing is light skin and dark skin, we still black. We still fit under the category of black.
Right. And I'm not gonna cut you off.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
I'm gonna cut you off. I definitely do agree with you, Adeline. In regards to what Junior was saying, that I do think that it's definitely going to be a change. I think that it is changing because we don't see the stereotypical roles that we used to see back in the day. Like for when Khalida was saying about the My Wife and Kids, Claire, We don't see that anymore. We don't see those quick changes of light skin to, dark skin to light skin anymore. And of course, like I said, I always say this, we may never see it in our lifetime. It's going to be a generational thing. New kids going to come up in here saying, hey, we just not going to stand for this. I mean, kids are much more open nowadays to situations that we weren't open with when we were, when certain people were older. All right. See, now I would love to get into this next topic, the first original question, which was, when is it okay for you and your spouse to move in together? But we're gonna have to say that for next week's episode because I want to get into mental health in the foster care system. So I know, Junior, you did mention that you were a foster child, as well as our special guest, who is also a foster child. Let me just get her real quick. Come on. Just get her.
I've been through the adoption agency. There's a difference.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My fault. Junior, I am sorry.
I get what you're saying. They almost called me at the adoption phase, but I said, nah, I wasn't with that. Like I said,
I want everybody to welcome Miss Cece, Miss Sierra.
Hi. Hi.
Start video. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Pooh.
Hello.
Hey, all right, see, now originally it was supposed to be Javon, but but basically, so I know that you adoption and foster home are two different things. So I do want to get a sense on, I'm gonna start with Cece first because I want to ask the question of mental health in the foster care system, because I know that you were in the foster care system. Am I correct, Cece?
Yes.
So give me your intake on your experience in the foster care system, and if it was whatever experience it was, do you feel like it can be a fixed, or is it an okay system?
I feel like with the foster care system, there are a lot of things that do need to be fixed. Like, there's always room for improvement, but that is a really flawed system. The way that they place kids, the way that, foster parents are treating some kids. And not all foster parents are bad. Not all foster agencies are terrible. But in my experience, I had a horrible experience with that type of stuff. So, coming from a mental health standpoint, I didn't really I knew from a young age that, like, I had depression and things like that. But a lot of times, they misdiagnose you because you're like, they're like, you're so young and, you're just depressed because, let me look at your life. Like that is a reason to be depressed. But like, when you're telling them, no, I know something's wrong with me. And I had my birth mother call them because my mother who raised me was passing away. And she knew before I knew. And I had my birth mother call me, and she was like, talking to the doctor, and she was telling the doctor, this girl, she gonna need some like Valium or something because this is gonna be hard for her. And I went through my whole mother's funeral not on any medication, and that was like a lot. But I don't think that the therapists and the psychiatrists there really listen to kids and really find out what's going on with them. I think they're quick to just give you a pill and be like, okay, shut up. Here, I don't think that they take you as seriously as you want to be taken, especially when you're a kid and, you can't answer any questions. Everything is always up to somebody else. So they're quick to kind of just like shuffle you around, and that's no bueno.
I'm sorry that you went through that.
That's okay.
Junior, I know that you said it.
Yes, I was. Hello, Sierra.
Hello, Junior.
Yeah, I was asking you, but may I ask you, like, what year and what agency was your sponsor?
My agency was JCCA. I'm employed with them, but nothing like dealing with kids and stuff. I just, I do offer services and stuff. But yeah, so JCCA, we have offices in Brooklyn, the Bronx, and like upstate, like somewhere on the Metro North. I don't know. I ain't been there, but.
So let me ask you, so would you actually, for the child, or just, I guess, part of like the services that care for them?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Were you actually a foster child, or just someone who's in like the services of the JCTA?
Both.
Oh, okay. So did ever like I guess what would you say is the gift and the curse of like the foster care agency or the adoption services?
A gift is, I have friends who have been in the system, like that I've met through the system, that have completely different experiences. Like I'm like, yeah, my experience sucks. And this other girl's like, I found my foster mom and I love her and she loves me. And that's the only home I've been in. Whereas me, I've been in a couple of homes and, they haven't been so great, or they start out great and then they end up trash. So I feel like it does work for some people, but most people aren't going to get a satisfactory experience. It's not easy for everybody.
What do you feel like would be some sort of solutions that can come about within dealing with the kids in the foster house, in the foster care system?
It's I've thought about this. I don't have a real solution, but I do think that there are things that we need to start really paying attention to, like who we are sending these kids to. Like who are we really sending them to live with? Because everything looks okay on the outside, and then you really get in there. And I've told not foster parents, I've told my social workers a lot of times, like, yo, this is my life. Like, you could clock out. I can't clock out of my life. You know what I'm saying? You live your life and go, but I have to stay here. I'm the one who has to live here. And they try to like get you like, we don't have a lot of homes open and things like that. And that's true. That's true. But a lot of these foster parents is out here and they're looking for a check.
Have you ever
And
done the runaway thing before? I know
oh
some
yeah, I've been AWOL a couple times.
So
but,
I'm
like, but when you say AWOL, it's like, oh my God, like she's like,
yo!
like
Yo,
no, I kind
actually,
of just
I've actually I did that a few times. And basically, like I said, Joanna, as we mentioned the topic, but like the mental issue. And as she just confirmed, yeah, if you don't get the proper, like the tools, like the pen and paper, notepad, 3 hots in a cot, yes, it can be very beat them down type situation. And yes, it can get, if you don't get the proper, like, care package looked over, and being it can actually cause it to escalate. One thing I say I'm blessed that it didn't really get me, like, I wasn't really traumatized to be suicidal then, so I guess it was a good thing.
mhm.
Once happened, I remember in summertime '92, I would never forget. They came to get me in a van in the middle of Harlem. Come on, we got somewhere for you to go to. And it just became like a long ass extended dream. Just somewhere else. I got introduced to Long Island, the trees and the green
Right.
grass. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
But despite the environment, it was actually suitable compared to where I grew up at.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. So it's like, yes, it's unfortunate that it happened, but like when you let karma, do its thing, I was blessed to get out when I became legal at 18. At the time, they were doing like the grant services where I guess once a child exits, then they do the grant where you get they put a certain money to like just funding supplies, like if you get ready for school and stuff like that.
Yes.
And it got me despite the runaways, because I was in Suffolk. I done went through at least every town in, in fucking Long Island. But as the gift, which most of us don't see it this way, the gift is in my case not letting it really get to me. Yes, I did have the urge. Like I said, the anger made me leave and run away, do crazy shit. Like I had siblings, and I'm not gonna tell you just the wild kind of situation.
Yeah.
I was blessed. Like I said, my urge to really want to be with my natural family is basically about kept me level-headed. Yes, get me wrong, the foster parents, they did look out for us, send us on a weekend retreats, like Pocono, stuff like that. So yes, it has like a little seesaw thing.
That sounds good.
As a kid,
10 more
want
seconds.
to be, as a kid, you want to be what your homegrown feeling is at. I'm gonna leave it like that. But yes, nice to meet you, Cepello. Nice to meet you.
Sierra.
Sierra Scipio.
It's Sierra.
She ain't correct me. Nice to meet you, Sierra.
I didn't want to be rude.
The commentary. Thank you.
I want to I just want to make 2 more points with this topic and then we'll move on.
Sure.
You guys are obviously survivors of the system. So I'm gonna give Junior, we're gonna give you your 2 minutes to explain, what advice would you give kids that are in the foster care system?
What advice? If I would speak to them, honestly speaking, I wouldn't even say it's advice. I would basically just be a mentor. Because I know how it is, like, being there literally in my shoes. Like I said, it's not a negative lifestyle. I would be more like a mentor. I don't want to say give someone advice on far who to, because
Okay, so
that's
what would you do? How would you bring them underneath your wing? Like, what skill sets would you install into them?
first and foremost, trying to find a peace of mind. Once we lock in the peace of mind, because you got to get that comfort zone. If you don't have it, you're gonna be all over the place. Lock into the comfort zone. 10, a long deep breath in 10 seconds, 10 breath, inhale, exhale. Find the comfort zone, my approach, and just basically focus on that, and then let nature happen. If I would just jump in and say what advice, because I'm not sure what the structure of how it's changed. That's why I asked Sierra about what year or ever she dealt with it, because different from my era or the time that she dealt with it, it might have like, two different structures or two different ways of looking at it. But I would be more like a mentor. I wouldn't go in the approach to try to repair someone, but talk with me. Let's go shoot some hoops. Let's go to the handball court. Let's do some mini golf, and let's see. We'll start from there.
Okay. Now, Miss Sierra.
Hi.
Yeah, there you go. Look, you already know the question.
I always say, like, I'm back and forth because I see it. You know what I'm saying? I lived it, and now I work there. Even though I'm not like a social worker or nothing, I see the kids coming in. I see the parents coming in for the visits and things like that. And my advice would be for like the older kids, because everybody wants the younger kids because they're so cute and they're babies. But I feel like once you get to the age maybe like 7, 8 and up, people don't want you. And that's just, I mean, I hope you find somebody that does want you, but like they're not looking for you, because and by we I mean foster kids, we are aware and we're angry and we're upset, and they don't want to deal with a teen. They don't want to deal with a fully grown person. They want someone they can mold. And, it's easier to welcome somebody into the family when they're younger, but whatever. So my advice would be to take everything seriously. I didn't take a lot of stuff seriously because I thought that my mother was going to take me out. And I was like 14 once I got in, and my mother passed away when I was 17. So I was like, yeah, like, oh, like, it's only temporary, she's going to get a house and she's going to come and get me out. And then she passed away very suddenly. And then it was like, ain't nobody coming for me. So I would say take everything seriously, light a fire under your social workers' asses. Like, make sure you got to stay on them because they're overworked and they're underpaid. But this is your life. Make sure, whatever plan you got, if you want to go join the army or you want to go to college or you need housing or whatever, make sure, and I would say try to avoid, babies are a blessing, but I would say try to avoid having a kid because, these foster care agencies, they're going to look at you and they're going to try to take your kid away too. And that's not something that we want. They don't have a lot of homes open for mother and baby or father and baby. So, just, try to get your stuff in order, stay under people's asses, take all the classes. If they offer a cooking class and you're the only person that showed up, go anyway. If none of your friends classes like, about like sexual health, they have classes about finance, go to all the classes in life. You need to know now. And that's my advice.
Absolutely. There we go. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Cece, for coming out and speaking out about your experience being in the foster home system and being able to talk and share your story. She is a strong woman. Please follow her. Cece, we're gonna give you an Instagram.
That's not cool.
Yes, I see you over there looking juicy, little sexy orange lady.
Girl, that's you.
She also has a YouTube channel, which is very hilarious, very much giving life and giving everything that she needs to give on her YouTube channel. You could say your YouTube channel, Cece, and I'll definitely put it down at the link below as well.
Yes. My Instagram and my YouTube channel are both Roti Princess, ROTI PRINCSE. That's wrong. Let me do it again. I'm tired. It's like you don't have to spell it out loud when you type it in. Okay. My Instagram and my YouTube are both Roti Pins. Bitch. Oh my God. Okay.
We
My
get the
Instagram
idea.
and
Roti princess. We
I'm
get the idea.
screaming.
Right.
Yeah, so my Instagram and my YouTube are both Roti Princess, ROTIPRINCESS.
There we
Okay.
go. All right. And even if you got it wrong or right, I still gonna post them.
Y'all
They still gonna find
it
it.
out.
Right, it'll be there.
They still gonna find it.
I just want to thank you guys for having me on y'all's show, and
Course.
super
Thank you,
excited to
Foster
be here.
Kid. Thank you, Foster
Thank
Kid.
you.
Foster Kid, gang, gang.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Cece.
No problem.
You can relieve yourself whenever you're good and ready to do so.
Bye, you guys.
See you
Have a
later,
good
Bye.
show.
girl.
All right. See, that was now, huh? It's a beautiful song.
Look at you with the alley-oop. Okay.
You know.
Come along and shit, Steve Nash with it. All right.
All right. So since that we do have a little bit more time, we can get. No, because I thought I heard thunder. I'm like, I know I'm not violent.
No, I heard
would've
it
been
too.
like,
I heard it too.
I was waiting for y'all to hear it too. I'm like,
I heard it too.
No, I ain't
Like
hear
that's why
nothing.
but that's why I heard I had put my stuff on mute when she was talking because I kept hearing it. I was like,
It was what happened yesterday and today. We got lucky that nothing happened yet.
no, but it's gonna be happening tonight. Tonight.
Yeah,
I'm ready for
Oh my
it.
God.
I love the rain.
Yo, but Juwan,
I love the rain. I love the rain.
nah, but Juwan, though, go look and I appreciate that. Because it's very rare that people that have been through it really speak about it and really go into detail. So I appreciate that. That was
I know that
And
that's,
it's
that's
funny.
a known topic. Like that's
And-
really a topic that I'm sorry, Adeline.
no,
Yeah.
sorry, no, I'm saying
No,
because
it's
I'm doing my shut up. I'm gonna do my master's in social work next year, so it's like now that I'm getting that like these type of like these different opinions of how it is. I'm not gonna specifically work at a foster home. I mean, a foster care system. I'm just gonna work at high schools or whatever. But the fact that I'm hearing from two sides, from Junior and Sierra, how it kind of works and how these kids are very are going through things, it puts me in a predicament like, wow. So if I'm ever like, say for example, even though I don't want to do a foster care agency right now, when I want to think about it later on, I have to put in my mindset like some of these kids are suffering, and it's my job to make sure these kids are okay.
Yeah, most definitely. It's something that's not talked about a lot out here in the world. It's not talked about a lot. It's really overseen, but these kids are a part of society as well, and they grow up just as in a crazy mindset as one that grew up in a two-parent household or in a parent household that's living in a I'm gonna say a impoverished time, I know. I'm thank you, Junior. See, I was waiting for you to let me know that last time before it just cut out on me.
First and foremost, we let you do that. I know I have one job only, to be here so I don't get fired. It's on you.
Gotta go.
I gotta have one in the day. I gotta have one for the day. I gotta have one.
Look. I'm out.
You already know who it is. It's John YD, John, that Nigerian Prince / King. And to the left of me, I have Junior,
Newark from New York. Holla at me.
And then underneath him, we have Miss Carlita.
Bonita Applebum, gotta put me on.
And then underneath, I have Miss Angel Adeline Lease.
Guys, well, bye, guys.
There we go.
I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. And yeah.
And
we're not celebrating 4th of July. Oh,
no,
sorry, guys.
Retake.